Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your time? On trial today. Returnal. Released in April of 2021, this was made by Housemarque. They're also known for Nex Machina, Matterfall, Alienation, Resogun, Outland, and more. Returnal is a third-person roguelike shooter that feels influenced by the Metroid franchise, but this dives very deep into the psychological horror side of things. Made as an exclusive for the PS5, this released with a $70 price tag. So let's dive in and see if it's worth those $70. You are Celine, an Astra scout, an intelligent explorer who finds and translates unknown glyphs and studies remote planets. You are also trained to survive in these harsh, unknown conditions. During a mission, Celine receives a distress signal from White Shadow. Breaking protocol, she went to explore and crashes onto the planet Atropos.
Abandoning Helios. Heading towards White Shadow broadcast.
As you explore, you quickly find out you're stuck in some sort of time loop. Each death sends you back to your ship right before you crashed. Haunted by the figurine of an astronaut, you explore this world, and as you do, you find yourself, literally and figuratively.
Scout log. Atropos. I have found a deceased Astra Scout here. Checking identification on helmet. It's...
You come into contact with your own corpses that have audio logs, giving you some insight into what Celine has been through in her current mental state. And then you also come into contact with a 20th century house that is just as you remembered it.
Exactly as I left it. But impossible.
And this is where I'll stop talking about the story, just for fear of spoiling anything. I'll end with borrowing the words from Gregory Loudon, the narrative director at Housemarque. He explains, "Slowly we reveal the story layer by layer, death by death, until the conclusion. We haunt players by sharing the story bit by bit. We leave lots of questions and hide the answers. We tell our story with every item, every environment, and every bit of art. We use all of it to hide messages and meanings for our players to uncover." The game mainly consists of dodging, shooting, surviving, and dying. This is a roguelike game, meaning you are going to die a lot. And upon death, you lose basically everything and start over.
Again.
You do keep progression with weapons alongside some key items, but basically when you die, you're starting from square one again.
Can't hear me.
This plays in very nicely with the story itself, given you are stuck in some sort of time loop.
The environment is changing. Could the Force be adapting?
Each run through Atropos is unique. Maps are procedurally generated, weapons and upgrades found are different each time. The only constants are death and the bullet hell gameplay. Now there's no difficulty slider for this game. You can't make it easier nor harder, it just is what it is. Luckily, Celine handles like a dream. Everything is very responsive and the game just does what you tell it to do. From jump height to dodge distance, you press it a little, you go a little. You press it a lot, you go farther. Everything is set up for you to succeed. But this does mean each death feels so much more painful. You know it was your fault, and you know you just lost everything and have to start over. The game itself is gorgeous. Each biome looks amazing, truly next gen, and it runs pretty darn well too. There were times when I would feel the frames dip a bit, things would get a little choppy. It wasn't often, but in a game like this, you do need those higher frame rates to be able to survive. I don't think it ever got me killed, but it did make me change my strategy a few times, so a minor gripe. If you're playing this game, you have to wear headphones. Returnal supports 3D audio and it makes very good use of it. However, at the time of this video, the PS5 does not pass 3D audio via HDMI. So you need to use a pair of headphones directly connected to the PS5. And honestly, it's literally a night and day difference. I would know because I played a good third of this game without 3D audio. I happened to discover it wasn't on, and I had to go buy a USB to 3.5mm converter to be able to get it to work. But the difference the 3D audio makes is astonishing. You can tell from which direction projectiles are coming from and how fast. You know where the enemies are, and you don't even need to see them. You'll end up so confident you could almost play this blindfolded. Anyhow, don't be like me. Play with 3D audio. Honestly, you will play better because of it. Now on to the soundtrack. Enough said. So, is it worth your time? Time is money, and this is one of the factors I take into consideration. The hours of entertainment I've gotten versus the price I've paid. So the average movie length is about 2 hours, and the average ticket price for a theater is roughly around $10, meaning you're paying about $5 an hour for your entertainment. It took me about 30 hours to beat this game, so at $70 that means it was about $2.33 an hour. That's a pretty good value, and honestly what you're gonna get is far superior than what you'd find in the theater most times. So if you are one of the 12 people who are lucky enough to get a PS5 and are wondering if this game is worth $70, I can easily say yes. If you have a PS5, this is a must-have game. My name's been Stryftek, and thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, bell, it all helps people find me here on YouTube. And I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Time?